Welcome to the Doctor's Mentor Show. If you believe that medicine is an industry and not a profession, if you enjoy submitting complex reimbursement claims, or you would do another residency just for fun, be advised, you're about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
All this talk about mentoring doctors is ridiculous. I thought doctors learned to do everything better than everyone else the first year of medical school. At least that's the way they act.
If you love assisting patients with vitality breakthroughs, if the right to practice medicine without interference is important, and you want expert tips for practice freedom and profits to support your epic life, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Doctor's Mentor Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lori Barr.
Hey, it's Dr. Lori Barr. You're listening to the Doctor's Mentor Show. And today, the question that I'm answering is a question that I get about interviews. And the question is, how do you decide who to interview on your show? There are really 4 lenses that it's good to view your potential podcast guest or any show, YouTube show, any other network show through traditional media or new media. 4 lenses with which to view your guests. Number 1 is through the lens of the eyes of your audience. So how does this guest serve your audience on the highest order? And by the same token, how does this guest help to amplify the position you already have in your audience's eyes? The guest should be contributing to the care and feeding of your audience and should be contributing to the perception your audience has of you. So ways that might work is if you have a guest on the show who has a complementary area of expertise where you assist the guest while they're on your show, for example, and the guest assists you in a way when they're on your show, for example, and that's demonstrated for your audience. Or it's somebody who your audience wouldn't normally have access to, and it demonstrates that you have more influence in a different sphere, a different circle of influence than your audience does that they would like to have access to. Like if you can interview the president or CEO of a big corporation or a country and other people don't have that access, then that's something your audience might be interested in. So number 1, viewing it through the lens of your audience. The second is viewing it through the lens of your purpose for your show. So there's some big reason why you're doing your show. Primary reasons would be to serve the greater good. Another reason would be to make more money. And a third reason would be to increase your influence. And it could be any of those things, and it could be all of those things, but there's going to be one primary reason why you started your show. So every guest that you have on should be in alignment with that purpose. And you should ask, how does this guest further my purpose for doing this show? And if they don't, then it may not be the right time to schedule them. It's nice to have a short list of other podcasts that you can refer people to who don't fit as guests on your show, but who might fit as guests on another show. The third lens you want to view your podcast guest through is the lens of finances. How is this guest assisting you in monetizing the show or breaking even with the show or actually making money? How is this guest assisting with the budget you've set with this show? Is it cutting into your budget to have this guest on, or is it adding to your revenue stream to have this guest on, or is it revenue neutral? Just a question to ask. And finally, the fourth lens to view your guests through is the lens of time and experiences. Is this guest somebody who, if you take the time to interview them, it'll lead to a unique experience that you may never have an experience like that again? Like, for example, sometimes Chalene Johnson, who everybody knows, I really love her podcast. Sometimes she'll interview people in her car driving somewhere, which is always fun. And there are some TV shows like that too. So can this guest experience, this guest interview, lead you to a unique experience in life that you'd really love to have? Is it going to be fun? Is it going to be worth your time? Because you are trading your life for these experiences. So make sure it's worth that time. There are the 4 lenses that you should evaluate potential podcast guests through before you agree to let somebody be a guest on your show.
Your next step.
Your action step is to decide how you can use this model of making sure that someone in your sphere of influence is aligned with 4 lenses. How, even if you don't have a show, how could that serve you? And if you're ready to start a show, absolutely come by thedoctorsmentor.com, drop me a message, and raise your hand and say, I'm ready to start my show. I know you've got some things coming up. How can we assist each other? And I'll be happy to assist you any way I can. I'm Lori Barr, the Doctor's Mentor. One idea is all it takes to change your world.
Are you stopping at a hospital? Hello? Don't you know that hospitals are one of the sickest places on the planet? Don't touch anything in there and get out as fast as you can.